Howdy. My name is Derek William Sturm, and this is my book, Will of the Wisps. I am not a professional voice actor, but I am the author. Will of the Wisps is not yet published. It is a YA novel intended to be the first of a series. Please share and enjoy. Chapter 29, Amber. I am trying not to think about how I am technically in a stolen car. I mean, that's what it is, right? Franky's dad has no idea she loaned it to me, so if the cops come knocking on the window, I'm going to have a criminal record. I'll be grounded at least. What if I get into an accident driving it? Would I even be on the insurance? The heated seats are nice, though. And the rearview camera backup display thing? I wonder if this isn't electric. Wait, if it's not, does that mean I should put gas in it? Franky didn't say. Calm down, Amber, I tell myself. The car's fine. The tank is half full. You aren't even driving it right now, and you won't have to drive it again. Thomas will show up in a few hours and you can just walk home. Thomas finally popped up on the group chat and promised to show up at 3 a.m. It was 11:38 if the clock on the dashboard was correct. I checked my phone. Yep, it's correct. And no new messages. Are they really just sleeping through my potential murder? Luke and Franky said it was incredibly lucky that the creepy hot dog man lived so close to my house. Only 5 blocks. But it doesn't really feel lucky now. Who knows what powers he traded for? I mean, the blinds have been closed since I got here, so night vision probably wouldn't reveal our stakeout. But what if he can see through walls, or read minds, or float around like a ghost, or turn invisible? Seems like it would be safer to drive away, circle around the city for 20 minutes, then come back to my house by a totally different route. But Franky said the car should stay with the stakeout, and...
And you are afraid.
The voice is unearthly and slightly echoey, as if coming from underwater. Not deep like the one I traded with, and not tinkling like Poco's. For a few moments I freeze, imagine scrambling to undo the belt and bail out of the car, but then my memory catches up to the rest of my brain. You're a wisp. You're the one from the diner. Poco said you were too scared to talk to us anymore.
I was scared. I am still scared. But you are too.
I exhale slowly and go ahead and undo the seatbelt anyway. I need to be ready to run, if needed. It was foolish not to notice this before.
This is wise? To prepare for the worst? To remove the fear?
You can't really remove the fear, I tell the creature, even though it's clearly reading my mind. You just try and control it, so it doesn't stop you from doing what you want to do.
And you want to do this?
No, I laugh. I guess it's more like what you need to do.
I am supposed to make trades. Are trades what I need to do?
Aren't you supposed to say this one is supposed to make trades?
Am I? I have been feeling very strange lately. I have been feeling I am not myself, and yet I feel more as if I am myself than I ever have before.
Because you can feel afraid, I guess.
That one, the one I was before, it was not real, I think. Not alive?
I get that. I've been feeling not alive too lately. Wait, are you the one that looks like an Oni? Did you give the creepy hot dog man powers?
No. I have only made one trade. That one you speak of is inside the house you look at so much.
Okay, Okay, this is bad. Can it see you?
We cannot see unless we trade for it. That one you call Deep Voice is enjoying your shadows. That one you call Poco is enjoying Luke's colors. But I cannot see.
And the Oni, the one inside the house?
I do not know.
It's a nice house. My neighborhood is older, but not poor. Good stone houses, not like the cookie-cutter neighborhood Franky and Mia live in. There are still metal hitching posts scattered every few blocks for when people would ride horses to work. And a lot of them have small sub-buildings in the backyard that the original occupants would have called servants' quarters. Creepy Hot Dog Man's house doesn't have enough yard for that, but it does have a nice wraparound balcony that Mom would call a widow's walk. Probably in the upper 20% of the houses by price in this city. Can a hot dog vendor really afford that kind of place? Maybe his wife or something is a lawyer. Can the other wisp, does it know you're out here?
Yes.
I should run then. Drive away, right?
Why would it knowing you are here make a difference to what you need to do?
Because it could tell its person we're watching him.
Why would it?
Wouldn't it feel threatened that we are out here?
Only if it has traded for fear, as I have.
Okay, well, curious then?
What is curious? I have not experienced this. Is it better than fear?
I laugh again. It's a nervous laugh, not genuine, but it still makes me feel a little better. Sorry, I'm not going to trade you my curiosity.
Do you think I can die?
My blood runs cold. Is that, are you trying to scare me?
No. I would never try and scare anyone, Amber. Fear is the worst feeling I have felt, the only feeling I have felt. But I have no interest in experiencing others. Fear is to be prevented. I ask because I had thought you might know if I could die. I feel as if I could die at any moment, and I do not like this feeling.
Well, okay. Have you ever known any of your kind to go away and not come back?
I am the newest of my kind.
And I'm crying. Just like that. Why am I crying? All the fear and confusion and lack of sleep seems to drain away with my tears. I lean into it, drop my face into my hands, and just sob. The wisp waits silently for me. Is it being polite, or is it afraid that my new behavior is a threat to it? The clock shows 11:52 when I manage to lift my head up. I dig around for my purse for a moment and try to find some Kleenex.
Am I a child?
The wisp asks innocently, causing me to drop the purse without unzipping it. Why would you ask that?
You were thinking about children and about the trade you made that meant you could not have them.
I open my mouth to deny it, but my voice catches. These creatures and their mind reading can be more honest than I can even be with myself. I didn't think I would need it, I force out slowly, feeling the tears welling up again. Mr. Deep Voice agreed. After he gave me the answer to my question, he said I could get a great value for it, and that... I trail off, unable to finish the story.
And people like you would never need or want to have children.
It finishes for me. I nod once and wrestle the zipper open to go in search of Kleenex again.
Now that one called Poco is asking Mia for the same trade. Both of them are seeking to have children.
A note of satisfaction enters the Wisp's voice.
Then I will soon be the newest, no longer. I will be experienced and venerated by those younger than me.
Well, I'm glad someone is happy.
Happy? I have not made this trade.
Another barely perceptible shift in its voice. A joke? I've made some mistakes.
So have I. Perhaps we can help each other from making more, Amber.
That sounds good. Thank you.
May I ask you for something? Not a trade.
Yes?
May I ask you to give me a name, Amber?
Tuesday, October 16th. Chapter 30. Reid. It's a fucking dumb name. Language! Sorry, Mrs. Purvance, Shawn says automatically, making a face at me. He might be a barely tolerable asshat, but he was showing interest in my comic book, which is something. Okay, so the comic book isn't real, and he's done nothing but make fun of it so far. But Shawn isn't one of those self-absorbed people that live in their own little world. He remembers things and checks up on you. That's why my mom says she likes him, anyway. Which is good, because if Mom didn't like Shawn, I wouldn't have any friends at all. Stygian Knight is a cool name, I mumble under my breath. It's not. You know what it is? It's a racist name. How? Your MC is black, isn't he? Shawn raises his eyebrow. He does it easily, too. I've been trying to duplicate it in the mirror for 2 years, and the best I can manage is starting the right one a little bit earlier than the left one. But the left always follows. I take a bite out of my soggy sandwich and stare at his untouched hamburger and fries. When does he find time to eat? I'm starving. Yes, of course the MC is black. We need more black superheroes. But you named him like white people do. Black Panther, Black Vulcan, Black Lightning. Please tell me you didn't give him electricity powers. No, why? Because it's like a thing. Black heroes with electricity powers. At least Storm doesn't have a racist name. Well, hero name. They sure gave her the most African name their little white brains could think up. It was probably Kunta Kinte in the first draft. Who? Shawn sighs heavily and rolls his eyes. Man, you gotta watch more than just anime. Okay, so Stygian doesn't mean black. It's like Greek mythology stuff? I know, played that game too. And it just means darker than dark. It's just black again. Well, he is black. The suit, I mean. The form he takes is all black, and I can't change that. Of course you can. You haven't even drawn him yet, right? What? I nearly choke. No, I can't change it. He has to be invisible at night, so that means black, so he can creep around in the shadows. Like Batman. And that is why Batman is trash. He trained with all those ninjas, right? Right, ninjas know how to blend into shadows. Ninjas know, but stupid white people don't. You know what ninjas wore? Real ninjas? I shake my head and finish my sandwich. Only veggies left. Normally, I don't eat the carrot sticks, but I'm so hungry today. They wore dark blue, Shawn continues, waving a delicious-looking fry in the air like a conductor. See, shadows aren't black. Black stands out at night, like you can just see it being darker than the shadows. But dark blue does blend into them. Or does it better. Ninjas learned that fast if they wanted to be, he raises his hand and does air quotes, invisible. Really? F me. I can't change the color now, can I? Even then, It wasn't the clothes they preferred. Most of the time, ninjas just dressed like farmers, because rich people, aka the samurai class, aka the people getting assassinated by ninjas, didn't even see peasants. Noticing peasants was beneath them. That doesn't sound very heroic. You got Naruto brain, man. I've been telling you, ninjas ain't heroic. Shawn stuffs the fry into his mouth and carefully chews it to fill the silence. I'm already out of carrot sticks. You know what else? Ninjas would recruit children and break their bones so they healed back wrong. What? Yeah, they wanted misshapen assassins, see? Because if you didn't quite have the shape of a human body, then the brain would just slide over you. No matter how well your clothing matched the color of shadows, the human shape would trigger the recognition centers of the brain, so people would spot you. You know how sometimes you see something and it catches your eye, and you realize it kind of looks like a dude? Plus the poop thing. Too late to make SK have an inhuman form. Wait, what did he just say? The poop thing? Yeah, ninjas coated their weapons in poop. It was basically free poison. One scratch and you die from infection. You think a throwing star or a kunai could really do much damage on their own? Nah, man, they were just poop poison delivery systems. Okay, fine, ninjas are dumb, I get it. Oh no, not dumb. Ninjas are very cool. They just ain't heroes. I can't think of anything to say. Shawn eats another fry, watching me critically. So frustrating. My stomach growls. So, you gonna change the name? He asks, finally. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't change the color, probably, but the name was doable. Any suggestions? He grins. Thundercock. Language! Chapter 31. Thomas. There has to be a way to kill them, Luke says again. It's a mutter, but I know he meant me to hear it, because why would he repeat it otherwise? I sigh and click off my phone. The high score and bundle runner can wait, I guess. You used to be such a nice, sweet, gentle boy, Lukey. He looks up and continues talking as if he didn't hear me. He only heard that I had started listening to him. Think about it, Thomas. They have all the cards. They can read our minds, see us when we can't see them. You can see them, I interrupt, but it doesn't seem to slow him down. Any power that they give, we can assume they already possess. They could kill any one of us easily, for all we know. They could do it so it looks like an accident. Heart attacks, brain aneurysms, control our bodies for just a single jerk of the leg or hip and send us into oncoming traffic. We don't know that, Lukey. We haven't seen them do anything other than trade. You haven't even seen them, he retorts. Apparently he had been listening after all. I shift in my chair. It's probably the worst waiting room I've ever been in. The city council building is old, older than the high school, and not maintained as well, I'd say. It reeks of cigarettes in here, and I'm pretty sure they banned smoking in public places before I was born. How many decades does it take to put in some plug-in air fresheners? There are no tables with magazines or toys, no lamps, no plush carpeting for children to roll around on. It's a cold cement floor. Cement, not even tile. The chairs, which are thin hollow metal with slick orangish-brown covering, don't seem to have much padding left. And the room itself, large and long enough to fit a school's cafeteria inside, is empty except for the mats intended to stop slipping. They'd lined the chairs against either side of the wall and called it a day. Like 20 per wall, arranged so that our side, a mishmash of people here seeking records or, more likely, to argue parking tickets, are forced to square off versus the much more crowded group here for the DMV. At least their side seems to move more quickly. And everyone says the DMV is slow. Let them try to get info on an address and see how they feel about the speed of bureaucracy then. Luke hesitates. He's been so uncertain lately. Or maybe it's my new outlook. Everyone else seems soaked in fear. Everywhere I go, just oozing it. Thank you for coming with me, he finishes. I could have done this on my own, Lukey. I know it kills you to skip school. Don't they take away valedictorians for less than perfect attendance? I already lost my 4-point freshman year, he reminds me. Oh yeah, when the band Nazi gave you the C for falling into the timpanis and busting up all their heads. I laugh at the memory. Luke, attempting to avoid Calvin Rutger's 7-Up can full of chewing tobacco, and forgetting that the band room floor was all different levels of steps. When he finally found the edge, dude had windmilled his arms for a good 10 count like he was in a Roadrunner cartoon. Good times. Still, though, 2 days in a row? Man, any sympathy you might have caught from the vice principal is gone now. She will definitely call your mother. Maybe she already has. It's not important. Luke bites off, leaning forward on his elbows, legs tense and ready to leap out of the chair when they call his name. Or run away, maybe. Did you ever notice how everybody is always so ready to run? Like normal kids, just checking sightlines to exits in case things go bad. I wonder if they even know they're doing it. I never noticed, and I was definitely doing it. She'll say she's disappointed in me. There will be a lecture on personal responsibility, which she will be too tired to finish, and then she'll try to compliment me on the dinner so she doesn't have to feel guilty for yelling at me. Luke reasons. He tries to smile, but I can tell he's pretty freaked out about it. Dude is trying to convince himself. Anyway, you'll be right there with me tomorrow when Mrs. Calhoun calls your dad. For real, I answer him. But I'm not worried. He can't take away a car I don't have. And he can't ground me any more than he has. The asshole in chief was crazed when he couldn't find me at home this morning. The image of his bright red face, the uncontrolled spit launched out of his ugly mouth as he stomps around swearing. Told him I left early to get bagels with Franky in the end. I'm honestly smiling about it. It's funny. And just last week it was terrifying. Yeah, I'm already grounded, I tell him. The foreman expects me at home 20 minutes after the 7th period bell rings. Luke raises one eyebrow. Dad is going to have to learn to deal with disappointment. I wink. Number 168? The receptionist calls out. Luke takes a few breaths to psych himself up and walks into the city assessor's office. The tax dude. It's funny, just the other week we were debating doxing in current events class and old Hallburn was pacing up and down the rows, death-gripping his giant coffee thermos, ranting on and on about privacy and anonymity and all that bullshit. Like, printing someone's address online is some sort of crime now, and people are essentially taking out hits on public figures without paying a dime because everyone has someone that wants to kill them, I guess. And old Holburn wants us to care about privacy like all the people his age care about it. But look where we are now. Luke and I walked into a government building, middle of the day, skipping school, and he's going to get the name of the creepy hot dog man. Just like that. There's no privacy anymore. It's dead and buried. Luke's back in less than 10 minutes. I say goodbye to decades-old, stale cigarette hallways and terrible chairs. I bow to the brave souls still waiting to get their driver's licenses renewed. Luke drags me away by the arm. How'd it work? I ask between marble columns outside. He didn't even think to ask why I wasn't in school. Once down the broad official government building steps, Luke pauses to start thumbing his phone. I told you people will do anything for a school project. I'm pretty sure it's all public information anyways. So who's our man? This better have been worth leaving him unsupervised downtown. I don't know, Luke answers, sighing heavily and putting his phone away. What do you mean? The owners, plural, are an elderly couple, Daniel and Heather Austengard. Found them both on Facebook. Pictures include the house, and recently. They're both in their 60s. He sighs again and pulls his phone back out. I assume to message the others. I wait until he stops and I hear the confirmed buzz from my pocket before bothering him again. Then who the fuck is selling hot dogs? Chapter 32. Franky. Lunch for me is a tuna salad wrap with kale. Diet food. Fake mayo, the whole thing. A pear, already mushy, and some dried apricots. As usual, Amber is eating homemade sushi out of a gorgeous bento box she ordered online. Amber makes beautiful rolls. I catalog the order of my priorities before taking a bite. First, I need to text Mia and make sure she isn't doing anything stupid until the group can meet again. After a family dinner and a few board games with Thomas, I had barely enough time to convince her not to make any more trades or meet with the strange boy in her DMs. Thomas was surprisingly supportive in my list of reasons why she shouldn't take risks right now. I could tell he didn't believe half of them, but it felt good to have someone backing me up. Mia is way too impulsive. I'm still having panic attacks thinking about how quick she was to risk her own life to save mine. Protecting her is my job, not the other way around. And I will wring her little neck if she even thinks about putting my safety before hers again. Remember not to trade, Mia. We can get together soon. I stare at the message, still unread, for a moment before adding ILY. Okay, done. Second, I need to check up on Luke and his mission to the government records place. Actually, scratch that. Luke will tell us right after he knows. He's good for that. Second, I need to text Thomas and let him know I'm thinking about him, but do it in a way that doesn't seem needy. And, if possible, in a way that makes him realize what an asshole he is for not texting me something that would already prove he is thinking of me. Difficult line to walk. Maybe Amber can help. I look up to see her chewing slowly and watching me. She seems like normal Amber. You can barely tell she was up half the night alone in a car watching the home of some supernaturally weird dude. I smile. You look great today, my dear. 10 out of 10. Gorgeous. She finishes chewing. Thanks. You too. Flowers still here? 2 flowers, she corrects me. And yeah, I think he is.
I am,
the younger Wisp's voice answers. It sounds slow and wobbly, like whale noises from Blue Planet, but not so deep. Maybe how a dolphin's voice would sound, but not when it's squeaking.
I feel safe with Amber,
it adds, as if nervous we might suddenly demand an explanation. Amber blushes, as she always does when boys give her attention. Well, it is a boy, isn't it? She said so herself. Meanwhile, Luke is insisting on using she, her for Poco, correcting us every time we say it. You and your friends eat 2 flowers? I ask, taking a second bite of my wrap. What should I send Thomas? I could just type out a few letters and not send anything. Wait for him to notice that I'm typing something, then erase the letters so he has to send something first. Would that work? What about a selfie? If I concentrated on making myself look independent and carefree while taking it, would my power stay in the picture? I could then include a thinking of you caption, and he wouldn't think I was needy because I wouldn't look needy. But only if the power applies to photos. I could ask Poco later, maybe?
The others of my kind are not my friends, Franky. Amber is my friend.
And Franky, Amber says, reaching across the table to put her hand over mine. Franky is my best friend, which means the 3 of us are best friends.
I am not certain that is how friendship works, Amber, though I am very new to it.
Just touch our hands, 2 flowers. It's a ritual. And it does. I can feel it. A slight caress. Nothing romantic or anything like that. But I can't call it anything other than a caress. And it seems to envelop my whole hand, touching every part of it at once, even the bits against Amber's hand and the flat of the cafeteria table. It's not cold or warm. It's not anything, really. It's just there. I shiver involuntarily. It's okay, Franky. 2 flowers is our friend.
Yes, we are all friends. I can feel it.
The voice answers just as my phone buzzes. Fine. ILY too. Mia has included a pouting face in her message. She still uses emojis like Mother does. Another 3 messages, this time to the surveillance group chat, follows on its heels. It's 2 ginormous links to social media profiles and an explanation. Amber looks up from her own phone. He doesn't own the house. Maybe they're his parents or something? That would make sense. If he wasn't making much money before now, maybe he lives with them. Amber is scrolling and shaking her head. No, they never had kids of their own. Adopted a Vietnamese girl when younger, but she lives in New York now. And before you ask, her profile shows single. Amber bites her lower lip for a second. Hey, 2 flowers. Were there any other people in the house last night?
I do not know. I only know that the one you call Oni was projecting from inside.
Projecting? I ask. My suggestion, Amber answers. 2 Flowers was uncomfortable saying that he was actually in the car last night, instead of being all inside the window 2-dimensionally, so I suggested he say, projecting from.
It is more accurate.
And it takes, like, energy or something. Well, not energy. They don't eat, by the way. It's more like concentration. They have to actively work at it.
Projecting is difficult. My kind cannot project for very long, though the older ones can do so for greater periods of time without having to stop trading.
Older ones like Poco and Mr. Deep Voice? I ask.
No, they are not much older than I am.
Older ones like the Oni? Amber whispers.
Yes.
We are all quiet for a time. Luke messages again asking if we saw the previous text, and Amber gives him her info about the daughter in New York. Once it's sent out, it's easier to see the exhaustion on Amber's face. It might be the night's adventure catching up to her, but I think it's probably worrying about the unknown Wisp and his unknown human with unknown powers. Abruptly, Amber blinks and I can watch her put on a fake smile. So, how did introducing Thomas to the parentals go? Okay, I mean good. Mother loved him. You wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't there. And he knew to let Mia win the board game, so... Silence hangs in the air. I can tell Amber wasn't really interested in how things were going with Thomas and me. She'd been changing the subject. I still need to text Thomas something. I grin and thumb out the perfect message. How is Luke holding up? Try that one on for size, Thomas Hurin. Look at me, worrying about your friend more than you. How does it feel to be ignored? Freakin'. He might be nearing a nervous breakout. I wanted to text earlier, but he needed me. Sorry. How are you? Damn him! He can't just turn it around like that. Was it obvious? How does asking about Luke tip my hand that I'd been waiting for a text? Don't worry about Thomas. We're all under a lot of stress, Franky. I glance up into Amber's large brown eyes and worry for a split second she might be reading my texts. But I guess she was just reading my expression. Unless... Would 2 Flowers tell her what I'm thinking?
No.
No what? Amber asks the Wisp, pulling another sushi roll from her bento.
I am afraid to say.
I was wondering if he was reading my mind, Amber, and I try to think of what to say to comfort the creature, and I am completely at a loss. I mean, he can hear me thinking about what I should say so that he feels better. Oh no, it's worse than that. He can hear me right now while I'm trying to figure out whether I want him to feel good because he's my friend or because I want him to trust me, or maybe it's because I think he can't handle emotions. Not that I do think he can, or don't think he can, or am I just trying to think that because he knows what I'm thinking, so I can't lie to him? Not that it would want to lie to him. I mean, lie to you. God, I am so sorry.
You do not need to apologize, Franky. This is new to me as well.
Thanks. Hey, guys? Amber butts in while she finishes chewing. Can we maybe talk aloud without all the mind reading?
I am so sorry, Amber, but this is not possible for me. I fear your disappointment.
What do you mean? I scoff. We can hear you fine.
You can hear me, yes, but I cannot hear you.
I don't understand.
My kind do not possess the ability to process sound for analysis unless we make a trade to possess such an ability. My creator made such a trade. They told me it was the best trade they ever made. They spoke of a sound which your kind creates that holds no meaning, yet is more pleasurable than any word they knew.
Music? Amber guesses.
Yes, I believe that was the word.
Well, maybe we can figure out a way for you to hear some Two Flowers, but later, you still need to explain what you mean when you say you cannot hear us. He means exactly that, Franky.
Yes.
Wait, so he only knows what we're saying by reading our minds?
It is difficult.
Reading our minds is difficult?
Yes. When you speak, it is easier. You form the words you wish to speak in your mind before speaking them. I read many versions as you arrange the words in different orders and patterns to suit your goals. But I see little difference between the versions.
It's weird trying to actively do the exact thing Two Flowers was just describing, but Amber is in this conversation too. We try to avoid misunderstandings and hurting people?
Why?
Chapter 33. Read. On Tuesdays, my moms go to Bible study, which usually involves dinner and, as Mama Irma puts it, additional conversation that the Lord has no real interest in. She means gossip. Mama Irma isn't my real mom, but she might as well be. I can't remember a time she wasn't with us. You'd think dinner alone would mean I could take a break from quinoa and chard and all that healthy stuff moms like, but every Tuesday after school I am presented with a recipe and the ingredients. No hands-on supervised instruction, like when I was little. Mom says men have a hard enough time these days convincing a woman they're worth marrying as it is, and no chance in hell if they expect her to do all the cooking. Tonight, it's quiche. They'll expect a slice each for breakfast, so I can't eat the whole thing. I still eat half, furiously, while plodding through the math homework Irma will check over tonight when they get back. When I am supposed to be in bed. Which I won't be. The remainder of the quiche, green with the whole bag of gross spinach the recipe called for, tempts me as I unwrap it, still hungry. I put on Kokai Odyssey and devour an entire jar of extra chunky peanut butter to get ready for tonight's field test. The jar is gone before I'm past the episode recap. The sun is setting. It's time to be gone. It's time to be justice. We don't have a huge house, but we do have a backyard, unlike our last place. And there aren't many working streetlights in the neighborhood, but that's actually a benefit now. I can slip into the backyard, transform into my sleek, shadowy alter ego, and be 3 blocks away before risking any lights. With my enhanced speed and strength, I'm able to cover the 3 miles to downtown in a matter of minutes. I'm glad I went with the strength. Part of me still worries about hurting someone, or an animal, but the speed and the wall clinging wouldn't matter much if I didn't have the leg power to jump the gap between the alleyways. And I finally found some. We don't have, skyscrapers, but there are some pretty big buildings downtown. The coal block is 7 stories and the lumber block is 8. The Manchester, the creepy building that refuses to remove the swastikas from their entryway because they were there before Hitler or something, is 5 or 6. It's not easy to tell. My real joy is the lampposts, though. We got those green monstrosities around the gulch, 40 or 50 feet high, and they're much more fun to climb up and jump around on than the buildings and fire escapes. After playing for a while, yes, I fully understand that I am playing. I am not an idiot. I stop at the top of the public library and try to come up with a plan. I had been hoping that I would spot some crime while flipping and climbing around. Downtown has to be a high crime area, right? I mean, higher crime area. Maybe I should have traded for better vision. Even with the far superior lighting here than back in my neighborhood, the few people strolling through the plaza and side streets are little more than colorful smudges. They could be criming. Who knows? I mean, the ones holding hands are probably just on dates or something. I wonder if Jessie would go out with me now that I have superpowers. You're not supposed to tell girls, though, because then, like, supervillains will target them. But what if I introduce Jessie to Barker? Then, she could get powers, too. Kind of feels like a betrayal of Mia, though. And Jessie is pretty cruel to me when Shawn told her about my crush. I shake my head a bit to get back into the zone and instantly think about getting a police radio thingy. A skimmer? Is that what it's called? Why bother with more trades when I can just tech up like Batman? Excuse me. The Batman. I can hear Shawn's voice telling me that there isn't much crime in Cloviston. But that just means we don't have the police to stop it. Mama Irma says cops only show up after crime because the city can't afford enough to actually patrol. But that can't be right because we get pulled over all the time by traffic cops. Can't they just make traffic cops patrol for muggers and stuff? Okay, Reid, think. What would a mugger look like? Ski mask? It's late October and chilly, so most of the people walking around are wearing hats or hoodies. I'm gonna have to get closer to spot a mask. Or wait for them to look up. No one ever seems to look up, which I guess is probably good for me. I need to find someone who looks like they're laying in wait. Yeah, like ambush positioning. That's what a mugger would do. They'd be alone, probably, so I could rule out the groups and couples. Come to think of it, the people being mugged would also be alone. That helps. And they'd be somewhere where they could see people coming, but not very visible themselves, like alleys and stuff. I spot a lone figure slide out of the front of the library and walk stiffly off towards Gulch Plaza. I follow. He's small, probably not much older than me, and I catch a flash of light from his face and hands. Excited, I leap across 6th Avenue and get into position for a closer look when he comes past. The object in his hands is just a phone. Disappointing. What's the point of being bulletproof if no one has guns? He's wearing a dark navy fleece, patched on the left elbow, and fraying in the back. The kind of clothes a junkie would wear. Or just like someone who doesn't have enough money to get a new coat. Mine isn't much better, to be honest. Light reflects off his face again, and this time I can tell it's glasses. He quickens his pace, continuing to text. Just a kid walking home from the library, I decide. Chapter 34. Luke. One more night, I text. Please. I think about adding a pleading hands/prayer emoji, but think better of it. Franky is not happy about Amber missing sleep again, but it's not like Amber is complaining. And Thomas, while perfectly happy agreeing with Franky that we can't keep watching this guy indefinitely, isn't willing to suggest he isn't up for night duty. So they're fine. I don't see why Franky has to make herself everyone's advocate. Well, everyone's but mine. As is, I will be lucky if my mom lets me keep my phone once I get home. She was not, as Thomas predicted, happy about me skipping school. I barely got permission to go to the library, and only held on to my cell phone on the argument I would need it if there was an emergency. My best hope now is that she has had time to cool off while I was pretending to study. Thomas messages back first. Yeah, one more. Then it's all you, Lukey. Franky adds, and you don't get my dad's car either. Car. Amber chimes in with a gif of a cartoon dog sleeping, so I guess that buys me some time. Weird that it should feel like I'm alone in this, but it does. I guess I need to remember that none of us are getting paid. I could go tell the cops, but honestly, them not believing me is probably the best case scenario. I shudder to think of what the world would be like if Wisp powers were police standard issue. I close the messaging app and pull up my notes. Creepy Hot Dog Man returned to the same house tonight. Franky never letting him out of her sight. Amber and Two Flowers are there now. He hasn't gone anywhere other than the plaza, not even to get ingredients, so he must have a pretty big stockpile of buns and meat back at the house on Cedar Street. A house that he does not own. So far, no one has seen the Austin guards leave or enter their home, but they could be out on the front lawn running a bikini car wash during the day for all we know. Spread too thin. That's the problem. We need more people. People without school or jobs to go to. But we can't tell anyone. Who can you trust with supernatural powers? I'm not even sure we can be trusted with them the way Thomas and Franky have been acting. I stop. More than stop. Freeze. You know that feeling you get when someone is watching you, and you turn around real quick and catch them flinching and looking away? I mean, most of the time they're probably just staring off into space and only realize they're looking at you when you make eye contact. Unless that's just me. Eye contact if I'm lucky. Too often I get lost in thought and only realize later that I'm staring directly at someone's butt or chest. And absolutely no one believes you when you tell them it was a coincidence. But sometimes the feeling is worse. Sometimes it's not just the eyes you feel on you, but the intent. That's when you look around and the person staring back does not blush or turn away. They just grin, that big dumb jock grin, and you realize they weren't staring at you, they were staring at everybody, and you were the only one dumb enough to spin around and look. And now you're the target. That's how I feel right now. Like a target. I don't spin around. Instead, I keep my fingers moving over the surface of my phone like I'm still using it. And I listen. It had been raining earlier, so the cobbles behind me are still wet. I listen for that. Splashing, maybe. Or the kind of squelching sound that shoes make when they're already wet. After a few minutes of silence, a pigeon takes off from my right and flaps over my head and down to scratch around a municipal garbage bin. On a hunch, I let myself relax and chuckle. It sounds fake to my ears because it is fake. My phone slides back into my jeans pocket and I stiffly slide both hands into my fleece, unable to unclench my fists. My heart thumps steadily, drowning out the pigeon's coos. Walking, I measure my steps, not knowing what number I'm counting towards. It has to be enough to get them moving again, enough to force them to show themselves. At 11, I still haven't decided, but some instinct sets me off. I can't wait any longer. As soon as my left foot hits the cobbles, I spin around, face lifted to the heavens. I see it. A new wisp. It's darker than the shadows and strangely colorless, just like the rest of my world now. And it's fast. I see it only for a second. A deep pool of darkness hanging off the eaves of the antique furniture store. With unfathomable speed, it flips over the roof and is gone. 5. There are 5 of them now, and one of them is following me. Chapter 35. Mia. I should be reading that Time Wrinkle book for Mrs. Torgan, or doing my laundry or something, but I'm downloading a police scanner application for my phone instead, which means deleting a few other apps that I don't even remember installing. Done yet? Ugh, boys are so annoying. Needs area code. IDK it. Well, IDK either. Can you find it? Franky would totally yell at me if she knew I was texting with SK again, but her stupid friends won't even agree to have a discussion yet on my stupid womb, so who cares what she thinks? Let her play with her hot dog guy. SK wants to do fun stuff, at least. I find the area code and type it into the app setup, along with a bunch of random letters and numbers. What's the point of asking for people's names and stuff when they're just going to lie? Apps are weird. 'Kay, I got it. Any crimes? It's live. Voice chat me. I need my buds. While I'm waiting for SK to find his earbuds, my phone spits a second of loud static, and then some bored-sounding lady is reciting some mumbo-jumbo about a domestic dispute and giving a bunch of numbers. Crap, it's an address. I crutch over to my vanity and grab the daily planner that my aunt gave me for Xmas. totally unused. Like, my phone has a calendar and stuff. Not that I use that either. Okay, back in bed. Got pen, paper, and phone. A dude's voice, also way too loud, is giving his location. I turn my phone down before the noise summons mom or dad to investigate. Where is SK? Did he, need to pee or something? I do some more Googling and discover that the cops all use their card numbers to identify themselves, which explains some of my confusion. Who knew there was so much math and law stuff? My phone tones with a voice chat invite. The guy on the other end is trying to do some sort of fake gruff voice and keeps coughing.
Mia, this is Stygian Knight. What is the status of crime in our fair metropolis?
Do I get a name?
What?
I don't want to be Mia. It sounds weird. I should have a code name too.
I guess you...
Handle.
What?
It's called a handle. Breaker 19, Roger, Walco. There was something else. Something you were supposed to say when you stopped talking. Between the voice chat and the scanner app, I should probably get my tablet out for Googling. I need, a whole tech nerd sidekick setup here, with 6 screens and a CSI lab. You wanna
be Roger Walco?
SK lets his voice pitch up for a second before remembering to growl. He sounds pretty young. No, I want to be, Ruja. Says here, Roger Wilco means received, will comply.
What does comply mean?
Ugh, boys. It means do the thing. Over.
Do it again?
No, just one time. You say over when you're done talking. Over.
Okay, Roger?
Over. You have to say over.
Roger Wilco, over.
Perfect. And call me Ruja. Over.
Okay, Ruja, where am I headed?
It takes him a minute.
Over.
Well, there was a domestic despot, but I think the cops are nearly at that. Over.
What, like a domestic cat?
How the hell should I know? And you have to say over, over. While I enjoy the image of SK fuming and kicking rocks in my head, I googled domestic despot to discover it was actually dispute, and it means a married couple is fighting. I didn't even know that was a crime. Should I report my mom and dad when they argue? Props not. I'm no snitch.
I can hear you typing. Over.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the domestic dispute. We just have to wait for a robbery or murder or something. Over. Like magic, the phone app crackles, and a new guy announces he's pulled over a car on Fremont. He starts reading out a plate number.
I heard that, SK announces. Roger Wilcoing it over there. It's not too far. Over.
I mute my side of the voice chat to not distract him and pull up a map. Fremont's more than a few miles from downtown, but it's only 3 blocks long. Probably why the cops didn't feel the need to give more info. It's in my neighborhood, actually. I wonder if I could sneak out and watch SK work. The app crackles again, and the first cop is back on. There is some lady screaming in the background. He's checking up on payroll status of the domestic dispute dude. Why would his payroll matter? Isn't that the checks you get from working? SK pops back on, and I unmute so I can talk to him. Ruja, this is SK. He's whispering now and not trying to hide his real voice at all. I've arrived at the scene of the traffic stop and need to stand ready to assist the police if this goes south. I've muted my phone so you don't give my position away. DM if needed. Over. I text him real quick. Roger Wilco. His voice drops a bit, like he's further away from the phone than before. The suspect is... black, and the cop seems pretty sus of him. He's got his hand on his gun and everything. They're just talking so far, but the officer doesn't seem happy. I'ma get closer. Wait, no, he's getting out of the car now. I need to be ready for anything, so the cops don't get shot. Dude's got his hands up, so that's good. The board lady comes back on the scanner with more info, and I send some DMs to SK so he knows. No prior arrests. Only 16. 16? SK whispers in surprise. Dude looks pretty big to me. He's nearly as tall as the cop. Wait, he's getting arrested, I think. He's putting his hands behind his back. This is turning out to be not nearly as exciting as I thought. He's hitting him! Fuck! He... S-Guy might mumble a bit after that, I'm not sure. Did he run to help the cop? Is he alright? I start to text him sit rep, which I had just learned means situation report, but he wouldn't know that yet, so instead I just sent him a question mark. After a few painfully long minutes, I can hear his voice again. I left. You can talk again if you want. Over. I breathe a sigh of relief. What happened? Did you get the bad guy? The boy didn't even fight back. The cop started punching him in his back until he collapsed and then put handcuffs on him. Wait, I checked my scanner to make sure it didn't go to sleep or anything. Nope, it's on, just silent. Why would he do that? I don't know, SK says. He sounds defeated. And familiar. I think I know him. I think he goes to my church. You've just listened to part 5 of Will of the Wisps, chapters 29 through 35 of 108 chapters. The book is finished, but the audio is in progress. All of it will be on this channel eventually. I'm looking for a literary agent and publisher, so please tell your friends to get the word out. If you are a literary agent or publisher, please contact me at this channel. It's just me, so I will get your message. And finally, go nuts with comments and criticisms. Help me make it perfect before publication. Thank you.